it's time for the donkey of the day. That's pretty funny.
Charlamagne the devil?
Possibly. The Breakfast Club.
Yes, Donkey of the Day for Monday, December 5th goes to everyone out there who is slandering Deion Sanders because he decided to leave Jackson State University for the Colorado Buffaloes. Yes, if you haven't heard, after leading Jackson State to an undefeated season in their second consecutive SWAC championship, he decided to leave Jackson State to go to Colorado. And a lot of people are upset about it. Let's go to CBS Colorado for the report, please.
Well, as excited as Colorado may be to have Deion Sanders, not everyone is thrilled with his decision to leave Jackson State in Mississippi, which is among the historically black colleges and universities, or HBCU. We caught up with an HBCU graduate here in Denver who explained why some have mixed emotions about Coach Prime.
We did feel a little conflicted about it because he had such a great impact on a smaller university. However, I understand we only live in this life once, and financial opportunities and opportunities to grow, sometimes you have to take those opportunities when they come.
Well, Sweet also told us he is grateful that Jackson State got to experience Sanders' star power, and he hopes that Sanders leaves behind a blueprint and keeps a channel back to the players and prospects for HBCUs who look up to him now.
First of all, how rude of me. Dropping the clues bombs for Jackson State winning back-to-back SWAC championships. And listen, man, I understand if you are hurt that Deion Sanders is leaving Jackson State. I totally get it. It's Deion Sanders. All right, the man brought so much positive attention to that program, the SWAC conference and HBCUs. But instead of calling the man a sellout and saying that he sold our people a dream, how about appreciate what that man brought to the table? Okay, he got Jackson State University new practice fields, new locker rooms. He got Under Armour sponsoring Jackson State uniforms, countless other things that will benefit that program for years. And slander is the thanks he get. Deion Ben let us know that he would entertain Power 5 head coaching opportunities. In fact, his exact words were, I'm going to have to entertain it straight up. I'd be a fool not to. And in a business like NCAA football, where it's so many black players but so few black coaches, I, for one, have no problem seeing a leader of men like Deion Sanders go to a P5 school. I love seeing us leading at HBCUs, and I love seeing us leading at PWIs. And it confuses me to see y'all say Deion is chasing the bag. I know in 1994, Deion Sanders was doing a bad MC Hammer impersonation, and he put out a record called Just Be the Money. But there's absolutely nothing about his coaching track record that shows he's about the bag. Deion has been pouring into black kids for years. Okay, he spent several years as a high school football coach. All right, he opened up his own charter school, Prime Prep Academy, which actually closed because of financial distress. And coaching at Jackson State for $1.2 million for 4 years, and he donated half his salary to help complete ongoing efforts to upgrade Jackson State's football facilities. And y'all calling that man a sellout? Also, he has to pay Jackson State $300,000. He owes them $300,000 in a contract buyout. But y'all saying he's about the bag? And listen, let's talk about the bag. Okay, the bag is real. $29.5 million for 5 years versus $1.2 million for 4 years. It's easy to say he's chasing the bag now, but over the last decade, I haven't heard anyone say, man, Deion really is just pouring into young black men and not getting paid for it. Once again, I understand folks who are hurt that he's leaving Jackson State, but all that he's a sellout slander, y'all tripping. All right, that man has done so much for black kids in HBCUs, and he will continue to, which brings me to my next point. What have you done for an HBCU lately? Huh? HBCUs are chronically underfunded. Why? Due to state underinvestment, lower alumni contributions, related to lower black incomes and black wealth, and lower endowments. I think two of those are an us problem. Okay, before you criticize Deion Sanders, ask yourself one question. Are you doing or have done what he's already done and what you are continuing to ask him to do? What are you saying, Uncle Charlotte? What I'm saying is, when the last time your black ass donated to an HBCU? Okay, see, Deion can point to what he's done for HBCUs over the last few years, at least Jackson State. Can you? See, I don't look for one man to change any situation, nor will I knock anyone for how they choose to move, because there's more than one path to liberation. And Deion has showed us what happens when folks actually show up to support an HBCU. So I ask again, what have you done for an HBCU lately? I never even went to any college, but I understand the importance of funding HBCUs. Here at the Breakfast Club, we raised damn near $1 million for the Thurgood Marshall College Fund, over $800,000 to be exact. You remember that, right, Envy?
Yes, sir.
Myself, Lenard Bernard McKelvey, Charlamagne the God. I donated $250,000 to my mother's alma mater, South Carolina State University, out of my pocket. Okay, with a lot more to come, by the way. All right. Last month, my podcast network, The Black Effect, iHeartRadio, and Nissan, we had the Thrill of Possibility Summit. We did that just for HBCU students. Okay, we flew them out because we understand the importance of pouring into HBCU students. Envy, what's the initiative you were doing? You was just at where you was just at when you broadcasted from there?
We did Stronger Together with Pepsi and Doritos, where they go to different schools, and we also did a documentary.
Not just schools. HBCUs.
That's right, where we go to different colleges and broadcast live. We were in, we did St. Augustine's, we did Bethune-Cookman, we did Hampton, we did Howard, we did a bunch of universities, and we're going to continue.
My point is, ask yourself, what are you doing or have done for HBCUs before you criticize Deion? You are just like the people Deion was talking about when he first took the job. You got Twitter fingers, but no action behind those tweets. Let's listen to Deion on 60 Minutes on why he decided to take that job at Jackson State.
Sanders'
Listen.
salary of $500,000 is less than 5% of what, one state over, Alabama pays its coach, Nick Saban. Yet Jackson State might be the hottest program in America, poaching talented recruits and winning games in equal measure. Powered by, yes, the style, but also the substance of the man who now calls himself Coach Prime. Sanders took the job at Jackson State 3 months after George Floyd's murder. Timing, he says, that was no coincidence.
It was relevant because a lot of folks sit back with Twitter fingers and talk about what they're going to do, and I wanted to go do it.
Do what?
Change lives, change the perspective of HBCU football, make everyone step up to the plate and do what's right by these kids.
Deion did his job, man. Okay, he did his job. Do we have the other clip where he said he would entertain the pop? Let me hear that one too.
The cinematic version of the story has Coach Prime sticking it out at Jackson State as the program grows on par with those of the Power Five. The reality, it may not be long before he takes his gold whistle to a school that doesn't need to beg for resources.
What happens when a Power 5 school says, give us a number, we'll make it work?
I'm going to have to entertain it.
You are?
Yes, I'm going to have to entertain it. Straight up. Well, I'd be a fool not to.
Deion did his job, man. And he told y'all from the beginning everything he was going to do. He was going to change the perspective of HBCU football. He did that. And he was going to entertain a Power 5 job if it came. He did that too. Okay, but he laid the blueprint. He showed us what's possible. It's up to us as consumers and folks that are alumni to keep the movement going. Because these HBCUs don't have the resources to support these kids. Our coaches on the level of a Deion Sanders, for that matter. In order to build and sustain these programs, we have to support them. And if you never donated to an HBCU, but you being critical of Deion Sanders, shut the F up forever. Okay, not to mention him being the first coach from an HBCU to get a Power 5 job. If he has success at Colorado, it'll be a great thing, not just for him, but it might open up other opportunities for HBCU coaches at Power 5 schools, maybe. Maybe, because let's be real, a lot of this is just happening because it's the great Deion Sanders. All right, that man said he had a calling to go to Jackson State. He went to Jackson State after having just experience as a high school coach. Okay, and after 2 back-to-back SWAC championships, I think it's more than fair to say, job well done. That's all we need to be saying about Deion. Job well done. He answered the call God had for him, and everyone was rewarded for it. Jackson State, the profile of HBCUs was raised, and Deion, in an unprecedented historic move, went from an HBCU coaching job to a Power 5. What more do you want from Deion Sanders? The last 3 years, the man gave his all to Jackson State. The man lost toes at Jackson State. Literally 2 toes amputated. He came in 10 toes down. He left 8 toes down, but still standing strong nonetheless. Can we listen to what Deion had to say in regards to leaving Jackson State and accepting the job at Colorado?
You've made a tremendous impact at the HBCUs. I guess how difficult was the decision to leave what you started there?
Tremendous. Because it wasn't about the X's and O's or the wins and losses. It was about those kids. Usually a coach is terminated or elevated. Thank God I'm elevated. But still, the journey is not complete. Maybe God is really using me to open doors at this level. The thing that alarms me the most is just because I'm leaving Jackson, they think that I'm leaving African American. I don't know if you noticed or not, but I'm black. I can never leave who I am and what I am and how I am and how I go about being that. So it is still my task to look in that locker room and see 65 to 70% of African American men trying to help them get to the next level, as well as all the others. My calling is for young men, young women, and people of all walks of life, all social climates, and all ethnicities. That's my calling. My calling is not built on a location. It's built on a destination. Now, that was good. You're supposed to clap for that.
It's still black men to be led on a Power 5 level, and I'm glad that they're being led by a God-fearing black man. And when it comes to Deion Sanders leaving Jackson State, don't be sad that it's over. Be happy because it happened. Please let Remy Ma give everyone who has slander for Deion Sanders the biggest hee-haw.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. You stupid motherfucker. Are you dumb?
Let's discuss.
All right.
Open the phones.
Let's discuss. 800-585-1051. What are your thoughts? How are you feeling about it?
Let's discuss.
You know, I've seen a lot of people saying that, you know, he recruited a lot of players. A lot of players went there because of him. And, you know, people have a right to be upset. And some people are saying, hey, I mean, he did what he was supposed to do. He got eyes to HBCUs.
Mm-hmm.
He got eyes to colleges, and more people put him on TV. More people sponsored. You see more corporations coming out, giving money and donating. What is your thoughts? Let's talk about it. 800-585-1051 is The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Donkey of the Day is brought to you by the law office of Michael S. Lamonsoff. Don't be a donkey. Dial pound 250 on your cell and say the bull if you've been hurt in a construction accident. That's pound 250 from your cell and say the bull.
Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.